Hi guys, Harbs here. Today we're going to be talking about Minsc. Ah yes, another Minsc video. But this one comes with a twist. I won't be talking about his background and lore, but rather the interesting trivia behind the character. Well, actually that's not entirely true, as I will be starting off with a Minsc theory relating to Baldur's Gate 3.
I just couldn't help myself.
But the rest of the video will be focusing on some stuff that I hope most of you don't know. I'd just like to say a huge thank you to everyone that is subscribed to the channel. It means a hell of a lot to me, and I know that the journey through early access has been a long one, but it's also been enjoyable, made even more so by the great community Baldur's Gate 3 has developed around it. And yeah, that's it. I just wanted to say thank you to all of the support throughout these 2 years. So Larian have shown us that when we come across Minsc, he will be inside a mimic. A mimic that quickly meets a grisly fate, and we know that Minsc has been captured by the Absolute because Jaheira, the voiceover in the recent trailer, tells us this. Now, Minsc won't be an origin character, and this therefore makes me wonder if he won't have been tadpoled. If we get too meta about it all, he should be very powerful based on his previous experience, way beyond what our level will likely be when we meet him. Larian shouldn't have to worry about this too much, but if they did want a reason to nerf the ranger, then there is potentially a way that they could do this, and the reason lies within a book in the Druid Grove. Chapter 5. Miniature Giant Space Hamster. Very little is known about this particular cryptid, though stories say they tend to choose well-muscled human males as their steeds when they deign to visit this plane. According to legends, this creature retains a wellspring of indescribable power, known only to itself, though it provides its steed with perhaps mystical, perhaps mundane courage. Unsubstantiated rumours claim that the creature has a taste for human eyes. What if when we find Minsc, he doesn't have Boo? Shocking, I know, particularly considering how impossible it was to separate him from his hamster in the original games. However, there is no sign of the little rodent here, and this book in the Druid Grove was, I assume, put here for a reason. It could just be a random snippet of lore to get us excited for a reference to the previous game, or could it be setting up what is to come? This leads us nicely into the trivia part of the video. In the original games, a quest was actually planned where Minsc would lose Boo, and he and the party would have to track him down. Although the quest was dropped due to the game's tight deadline, it was put into the game through an unofficial mod called Unfinished Business. BioWare undoubtedly brought Minsc alive through the original Baldur's Gate games, however the character already existed within the personal D&D game of James Olin, the lead designer of the first game. Minsc was Cameron Topher's character in Olin's Dark Sun campaign, and also served as their own comic relief. Here's the old character sheet to prove it.
Camaraderie, adventure, and steel on steel. The stuff of legend, right, Boo?
For some time now, people have speculated as to whether the original artist of the BG1 portraits, Mike Sass, got Minsc's description muddled up with that of a red wizard. After all, he's bald and has a tattooed head, just like all red wizards. Whereas Edwin, the game's actual red wizard, is quite the opposite. In fact, the description of Rashami is usually that they have dark eyes and thick black hair, quite reminiscent of Edwin's portrait. Nevertheless, it hardly matters now. This is the Minsc we all know. In a show called Codename Kids Next Door, Jim Cummings, the original voice actor for Minsc, plays a character called Van Moosk, an obvious parody of Minsc.
Die. No! Where Moose goes, ties get the bad kitting!
In Oblivion, some NPCs shout "Jump on my sword while you can," a line likely inspired by the addled ranger.
Jump on my sword while you can! Jump on my sword while you can, evil. I won't be as gentle!
In Mass Effect 3, Shepard will tell his hamster to go for the eyes of anyone who tries to interfere with him.
Alright, sit tight, little guy. Anybody gives you trouble, go for the eyes.
Interestingly, Minsc's wisdom score was too low to actually even qualify as a ranger in 2nd edition AD&D rules. However, the scriptwriter for the game, Drew Karpyshyn, stated in an interview in 2001 that Boo provides Minsc with wisdom and moral support. In the game, it is also revealed that Minsc had a head injury in his past, and this was actually an option for players in Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, with it being stated on page 107 of Players' Options Combat and Tactics that your character could lose wisdom after a head injury. Anyway, the idea that Boo provides Minsc with wisdom and moral support could add to the theory that we won't come across Boo immediately in Baldur's Gate 3 when we find Minsc, and perhaps we will have to find him in order to restore Minsc's full strength. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then do please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!